garden of Kips Bay Towers, which is actually 3 acres of gardens in a residential complex of 1,120 apartments. We are located on between 30th Street and 33rd Street, between 1st and 2nd Avenues. There are 1,120 apartments, and there's approximately 3,000 to 4,000 residents, depending on whether or not you actually count the children. There are only a couple of residential buildings that IMK did, so this is a pretty special place. Kips Bay Towers, when it was first built, was the largest residential poured-in-place concrete building in the world. It means that the building actually is poured in place, so the concrete is not a precast concrete, so each column is poured, each wall is poured in place. It was a really innovative structure at the time that it was built. Well, one day I walked through the whole complex with the board, with some board members, and we were trying to come up with some different ways of using different space in the building, trying to create fitness centers, trying to create community rooms. So we went up to the roof to actually look at it for a penthouse project. I said, why don't we put solar panels on the roof? Well, once we had a company come and actually do a feasibility study, show us actual sketches of where the solar panels would be placed and also what kind of energy we would be producing and also the approximate cost, I then presented that to the board. Once they saw how interesting it was and also the money savings was a big component of it, they were willing then to bring it to a vote to the unit owners. The project was estimated to cost approximately $500,000, and it was believed that NYSERDA would be able to basically give us a grant for about half of that. So any expenditure over $100,000 in our building requires 25% unit owner approval. There were certain questions such as, will there be glare? Are our roofs built for the solar panels? Will they be able to hold the weight of them? So, certain people didn't know much about what the inverter actually did, so they're concerned if it would actually have a noise and all these kinds of things. We did an application to NYSERDA, and that was through Solar Energy Systems, did the application, and we were granted the 50% grant, and then we're able to finish the project.
The obstacles to the installation of the solar panels was the main concern, all the roofing material, the roof protection, how we're going to keep the warranty of the roof and the integrity of it. The second obstacle that we had is how we're going to bring the equipment and all the material all the way up to the top of the building, to the penthouses. And one of the other obstacles was, without a doubt, all the panels location with regards to the fans. But we were able to accomplish each and every one of them. Well, the solar panels have been installed since December of 2008. That's when they were commissioned by the city, the Department of Buildings. Both of them combined at approximately 55 kWs per hour. It's about 5% of the building electric demand. Up to this point, it has represented a cost savings of approximately $5,000.
One of the questions indeed by the residents and also the board was how long will it take to pay this back when we start to actually make money. Initially the thought was it was always going to be a 10-year payback. But when you actually look at how much the cost of electricity is increasing, it's actually looking like it's going to be more like a 6-year payback. So we're now looking at a payback at about 6 to 7 years, we're hoping. And that was very important to the residents and also the board. My advice to large residential buildings who are considering installing photovoltaic panels on their roof or any part of their complex is to really first gather as much information as possible, make sure that they know exactly what the system is going to look like, where it's going to be, whether or not it actually works, gain the information about how much it's going to produce, how much it's going to cost, make sure it's an entire package, and then present that to your board. Then make sure that you have the information for your residents, because the residents actually really have to be on board with these projects, and that's actually the most exciting thing about this project. I see people in the hallways always ask me, so how much solar energy have we produced, Just by using those 2 bulkheads, it was 55 kilowatts, which is actually the largest residential solar array in Manhattan. So that was pretty exciting to know that. It feels great to be a pioneer. I'm just very proud of our residents, to be honest with you, because even though we did have some dissension and a lot of questions, everyone was really excited about it.
I'm very happy with the installation and the process of that we went through. I believe that we certainly were successful. We were successful because of the way it was planned and the way that the process of installation went on. It is very simple, nothing to be afraid of. The panels, they are very simple in terms of understanding how they work. Also, the installation was a very easy and quiet process. So it's not much to do and a lot to gain.